So, welcome to Aristomenous Square in Kalamata. Today what I plan to do is go out this evening, it's about 6 o'clock now, go out, have a walk around Kalamata, look at the nightlife, it's a student town so it should be buzzing, and just have a chat with you as we walk around about Kalamata, its history, its origins, and visiting now. So I hope you enjoy. So in the centre of Kalamata we have this very large square, which I think is known to many Greeks as Aristomenous Square, but that name actually refers to the street that runs down its length on the left. The actual name of the square is King George Square, although I don't think it's very common that it's called that. But anyway, let's go downstairs, go outside and see what's happening in Kalamata on a Friday night. Hopefully it'll be good and worth it. So, King George II Square isn't actually that old. It first appeared as a concept on the city plans in 1905, and then it was completed eventually, I believe, in about 1935, as the city of Kalamata, as it is now, grew up around it. But it is a huge square. It's 397 metres long, and it's 45 metres wide. And as you can see on a Friday night, it's pretty busy. Tomorrow is Independence Day, as I mentioned, in Greece, so it's hardly surprising it's busy, but I think it's like this every night, to be honest. And Kalamata itself is an interesting place. In ancient times, it was called Pharae, and Pharae was not an important place in ancient Greece, Hellenic Greece, or Roman Greece. There was a small acropolis on the hill, where there's now a Byzantine Castle. The castle itself is quite famous because there's an international dance contest there every summer, which apparently is quite well known, although I don't know it myself. But Kalamata as a name came about, I believe, from the Greek word kalamai, which means reeds. And I think what happened was we had the Acropolis up on the hill with a very small old town around it, which we'll look at later because it's a really good bar area. And then after the Independence War of 1821, the town expanded down into what is now King George II Square or Aristomenous Square, and took up an area which was covered in reeds. Kalamata itself is therefore effectively a play on that word of kalamai, reeds. And it was first used, I believe, in the 10th century. That's when the first reference to Kalamata was made. There's also another reference to Kalamata, which is in Greek. Kalamata sounds a bit like kalamati, which means good eye. Kala, good, mati, eye. And it's thought that this could be a reference to the Kalamata olives because they look like big black eyes. Kalamati, good eye. But in reality, I believe it came from the word kalamai for reeds. So you can see here, there is a memorial to the heroes of the Independence Revolution of 1821, and it started here. That's why I'm really come here tonight for tomorrow, because if you're going to celebrate Greek Independence Day 1821, 25th of March 1821, then you've got to come to Kalamata because this is where it all started. And on the 23rd of March 1821, the heroes of the revolution declared independence from the then Ottoman state that ruled this place and started the Greek Independence War, which ultimately established the Hellenic state in about 1832 with the help of Russia, France and the UK. You can see though, lots going on here. Easter is coming, Pashka, so we have traditional Easter lambada, which are sort of candles, decorated candles that godparents will give to their godchildren at Easter. You can see, fantastic. Big thing at Easter. And Easter in Greece, Orthodox Easter of course, is a really big thing. Big festival here. Probably in some ways more important than Christmas actually. And in Aristomenous Square, or King George II Square, it's been renamed about 12 times since 1905, the last time being 1992. You can see there are various fountains, memorials, etc. So this one, for example, is to olive pressing, as I said, kalamati, or good eye, or perhaps Kalamata olives. But we continue up Aristomenous Street, and it gets more and more interesting actually, because we head towards the Old Town, if you want to go to the beach, it's 20 minutes behind me. And in the summer, most of the life, of course, will be down at the beach. But here we are, mid to late March. And of course, people aren't down at the beach at the moment. People are up in the main town. So here we are, onto Aristomenous Street. Shop's still open, and I just want to talk about the place coming up on the right because it's quite interesting. It's got an interesting little history. Firstly, it's a very good restaurant. If you're in Kalamata and you're looking for a restaurant, I mean, there are loads of restaurants on the square, but if you're looking for a restaurant, you want to think about this place here. It's quite good, 23 Aristomenous Street. But this place is very interesting because in the Second World War, the owner of this place harboured a British spy who lived in his basement for a couple of years and operated a radio reporting back to the Allies about the German troop movements in Kalamata. And there was actually a naval battle, I mean it's an amazing naval battle, between the German Navy and, believe it or not, the New Zealand Navy. I mean, they'd come some distance, just off the port of Kalamata. And of course the port of Kalamata is a very important port in Greece itself, being so far south. It's immediate access to places like Egypt, Libya and so on, and it became important because of that. But in reality, Kalamata itself only really became important in Greece in the 12th and 13th centuries when, because of the fertile land, it became very valuable to the Byzantine Empire, and they built the castle here, or at least they rebuilt the castle here, because I should say, I think in 1203 the Byzantines came here and conquered the place, and the castle couldn't be defended because it was a ruin. So they rebuilt the castle. The castle itself, between I think about 1205 and 1481, changed hands numerous times, as did the area. It was conquered by numerous different factions and claimed for various different warlords or kings. But then in 1481, the Ottomans conquered it, and they held it till 1685, when there was a Venetian-Ottoman war, and the Ottomans lost Kalamata to the Venetians. The Venetians then fortified the castle further, and then in 1715, the whole of the Peloponnese was lost back to the Ottoman Empire, who held it until 1821 initially, when this was the first town liberated in the Greek independence movement. It was then unfortunately levelled in 1825 by the Ottoman commander Ibrahim, who came through and recaptured it. And it's had a bit of a history really, because we're coming up to the Old Town now, but nothing here existed really before about 1825, because as I said, the Ottomans levelled it, but then there was a huge earthquake again in 1986. 20 people died, 330 people were injured, and it levelled this city, and they had to rebuild it yet again. There's a cathedral, we might not look at it tonight, but there's a cathedral which had been built in 1860, I think, and it was basically destroyed. It's had to be rebuilt since. And it is the seat of the Mycenaean bishop here, Orthodox bishop, of course. So, we'll come up into the Old Town and have a look round there. There's some really good bars and stuff. And I hope you're getting a flavour for Kalamata at night. It's great. It's fabulous in the summer. I'm going to come back in the summer and do a video here as well, because it's so good in the summer. It's not warm tonight. It's about 14 or 15 degrees, but it's 21 during the day. Mid-March, great time to visit if you don't have commitments such as school or work. I think that this road that we're crossing now used to have the city walls running along it, left to right, and down there, and then would have turned left up towards the castle and the cathedral. They're obviously no longer there now, but you can see the character changes. Unfortunately, partly because Ibrahim, as I mentioned, the Ottoman commander, levelled this place, and partly because of the earthquake, none of the old buildings really exist now. You've got the ruins of the castle, you've got some churches. There is one church here, up here, very famous church, which was the site at which, it's called All Saints Church, the site at which the heroes of the revolution, Aristomenous and so on, declared war, as I said, 23rd of March 1821. And that is a Byzantine church, but it was almost completely destroyed in the earthquake of 86 and had to be rebuilt. So it's not quite as old as it looks. Anyway, as we come up through here, I'm hoping that it will be quite lively. I might be completely wrong. I mean, I've been along here before during the day and it's very quiet, but there are loads of bars that are shut. And I'm just hoping that it might be busy as we turn the corner. And yes, it's pretty busy, which is fantastic because I'm going to have a drink down here. You can see University Town. I mean, we're coming up to Easter now, so maybe there aren't so many university students here, but it's fantastic. I was right, it's really busy. Really busy. Going to have to find a decent bar, maybe a table. Already eaten, so I don't need any souvlaki, but it looks pretty good to me. Very vibrant, and we're coming up to that church I was talking about that was destroyed, but had independence declared outside it. Really nice, actually. It's always interesting. Some bars are empty, some bars are full. Maybe the empty bars will be full later on. The place does take on a nice vibe at night. Great in the summer. Here's the Byzantine church. 12th century it was built. As I said, one end completely collapsed during the 86 earthquake, but because it's so historic here in Greece, they rebuilt it. And Kalamata is the place to come for independence, as hopefully we'll see tomorrow in another video. Pretty nice. I like it a lot. And if you continue straight up there, you go up, and you come to the castle. Pretty good, pretty vibrant, pretty exciting. Got to find a bar. Here we are, the heroes of the revolution. Sometimes it's difficult to tell a bar apart from a souvlaki place. Very nice place, Kalamata. It's 238 kilometers from Athens. It's about 2.5 hours drive, really good roads. So if you are on holiday here and you have a chance to come down here in the summer, I'd highly recommend it. A night or two down in Kalamata would be great. You won't regret it. And everything marked out for the parade tomorrow. All this red tape is to stop cars parking tomorrow. So many bars. Fantastic place. Of course, a lot of this will move down to the seafront in the summer, but it'll still all be open as well. Great. And I think, as I said, I think the city wall went up here before, but I might be wrong. So tracing ourselves back a little bit because we're going to go and find a nice drink. This is not up to me, I just follow people, go where I'm told. Lovely fountains. I think it's set down, I've seen this with the churches here as well, I think it's set down because the height of the land has been raised either artificially or by nature, probably artificially. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my little look at Kalamata at night. It's now actually Saturday morning, about 2 AM. So I'm going to bed, but please subscribe. I will be eternally grateful if you would subscribe. I have so many views now, not that many subscribers, and I really want to monetize. I'm that close now, so help me out, subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to come back here in the summer and look at the beach, and beach nightlife. But I hope you've got a feel for Kalamata at night. It's fantastic. Come down here if you get a chance. Great for a holiday. And I look forward to you watching my other videos. Thank you.